7 months off football and he takes 3 minutes to set up a try. Is he that big a difference to the team?
Said all along, Crawls, that we were never going to use it as an excuse. There's 2 points to make. We wouldn't be where we are today on the table if he had been at the playing at the start of the year. Yes, he is that big a difference to the team, to answer your question. And it's nice that you asked that question through probably seeing it tonight in regards to what he's, I suppose, his contribution was, and also what he does for the players around him, especially our ruck. And Toots is probably the best guy to answer that question from a player point of view, being on the field with him. But the other point is that I don't want to undervalue, mate, is Lever has done an enormous job filling in for him. To fill in for a player with that standard and quality he's world class, Josh Hodgson. And for Lever to fill in and do what he's done, a guy who really, was lucky to handle 10 to 12 minutes of NRL standard of football when he first joined us, to be in some games playing 80 minutes this year. Now he can be on the bench and he'll be our utility forward, not just 9. Adds massive difference to the team, and for Lever to do what he's done, and I just paid him a great compliment in there with in front of all the boys in regards to his contribution to the team so far this year. But it might be a long-winded answer, mate, but yeah, definitely we have missed Josh, as any football team would miss their world-class players.
You basically asked him to just be Josh Hodgson, and he looked like Josh Hodgson from the start.
I'll get Tuss to answer what it was like from a playing point of view, being on the field with him. But I'm like you, David. From where I was standing and watching that game, we went to another level.
The boys just know what Hodjo's going to bring, and we try to put Hodjo not aside, but we didn't want to put too much pressure on him because he's the ultimate professional. You can just see how hard he worked to get back here, but we didn't want to put too much pressure on Hodjo today because we knew he'd probably put enough pressure on himself. That's the sort of bloke he is. He tries his hardest. He does everything, 100%. So Hodjo just slipped in today like he'd never been away, and it was, it's pretty freakish the way he did. So it's a credit to him. It's a credit to our staff, our rehab staff, who got him back, and like we mentioned before, a credit to Lever, who's done a fantastic job, not only throughout the opening 14 or so rounds, but he was good against tonight, Lever, as well, which was pleasing.
Did it feel like the players lifted when he came on?
Yeah, I guess it did. It's easy to say yes when he set up a try in the first 2 minutes. It's quite handy, but he's just that. He plays the game how he wants to play the game, and he's one of those very very few nines who can control a game like that. And it's great to have him back. Hopefully he's. I'm sure he is. He'll recover well, and he's right to go again for the back end of the year.
Outside the 8 now, you guys look like you're right in the hunt now that you've revitalised.
I haven't been looking at it, mate, but I think we might be 4.
Sorry, 2 wins outside the 8.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
No, yeah, we are. Look, as a coach, you're looking at it. We've been talking about performance of late. We haven't been talking about wins and losses or winning or losing. And we'll just keep going down that track because. With Josh back now, Junior will be back next game. We're starting to get our team back. All we talked about this week was continuing being consistent with performance. I thought we had three of our top players out last week. We had BJ out in the first minute. Jordan Rapana has to get taken off with 20 to go. And I thought the performance last week could have, if we keep working towards it, flicked a switch for us. We were a little bit flat at the start of the game tonight, and I reckon Penrith are probably a bit flat this week too, because that was a gruelling game last week. But the way we played last week, we needed to repeat, and we probably we did repeat it, because I thought last week showed that we're a lot better than where we are on the table, but that's that's our job now to get up the table, and the only way you do that is by winning games.